Hey guys, I'm Luke Tabor, and today I'm going to be telling you the #1 thing that is going to change your traditional archery form forever. Whether you're shooting a longbow, a recurve, or even a compound, this has helped me overcome target panic, short draw, a myriad of other things that I struggled with through my life, and that is simply blind bailing. I know that everybody's brought this topic up before and talked about it, but I'm going to give you some of my own thoughts on it, so just stick with me. I've had this old 18-1 Reinhardt target for over a decade, and as you can see, it's pretty chewed up in the middle. It's quite the old war horse that really got worn down over the years, but it's still holding up, so kudos to Reinhardt for making a good target. I used to blind bail a little bit, but not enough to really fix my issues. I did it just to say that I was doing it, to kind of make myself feel better. But I want to encourage everybody not to do that. You need to actually get into it and do it. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, nowadays I probably spend 75% of the arrows that I shoot are on a blind bail or 10 yards away. Now this can help you with a myriad of different things. If you're new into the sport, it's really good to start on a blind bail so that you can figure your form out. If you got a coach standing there, helping you kind of show what you're doing with your form, or you can actually get a lot of knowledge for yourself and a lot of feedback just from shooting the blind bail, and kind of teach yourself. And that's kind of what happened with me. I had good instruction, but I didn't understand a lot of it, so I did a lot of stuff wrong for a lot of years. And it wasn't until I started getting in front of the blind bail, hundreds of hours. There's no telling how much I shot this thing over the years to fix my short draw problems. And when I got in front of the blind bail and I started doing things naturally, instead of trying to hold my shoulder in a certain position, when I just got up to the blind bail and I said, how does my body want to naturally push this bow? If somebody was running at me and I wanted to stick my hand out to stop them, and just push as hard as I could, what would my skeletal and my muscle posture look like? If somebody was coming at me and I was going to drop my weight, and get real aggressive with it and push out, because that's how you want to push the bow. You want to get everything you got. And that's what the blind bail allows you to do. It's very hard to shoot out at 30 yards and try to focus on what you're hitting at, and at the same time perfect your form. So what this allows you to do is repetitions over and over and over again to build that muscle memory up, so that way when you do go out to shoot at 30 yards, all you've got to think about is shooting. All you've got to do is look at the spot, because everything else is going to fall into place because you've spent hours and hours on the blind bail. And the way that I put it to people is you really have to treat archery like the sport that it is. The soccer player Ronaldo, he didn't just wake up one day and be a really good soccer player. He's trained every single day, and anybody that's good at anything, it's a daily practice that you have to put forth to get your reps in. So I highly encourage you. It's one thing to go out 20-30 yards and shoot a lot of arrows for fun, but if you want to be good, or if you want to be great, you really have to be so consistent that you're like a well-oiled machine, and the blind bail is going to let you build the muscle memory to do that. Now I'll typically get about, let's see, I'll typically come here and I'll put my arrow on the end here and touch it just to make sure that I'm far enough away, but you get a little bit of penetration with the arrow, so you just don't want to be so close that your arrow is still on the bow when you shoot. Now it's good to be that close and to shoot some arrows at it like that, actually blind bailing, closing your eyes, especially if you're new into it and you're not so sure about your form and you're really trying to feel your muscles and what they're doing. However, it's also important, in my opinion, to step back about 10 yards, which you can still shoot the target in the house, unless you're super new and you're gonna, miss the target, maybe come up to 5 yards, and just pick an arrow hole, on the target somewhere, and shoot at that arrow hole. And that's going to give you the feedback on whether or not you're practicing your form correctly, because you're going to find out real fast, you know, if you're a left-handed shooter and you're shooting left, you know, and low, you're probably dropping your bow arm. Or if you're a right-handed shooter and you're shooting, you know, right and low, you're probably dropping your bow arm. If you're a right-handed shooter and you're shooting to the left, you're probably coming and you're, you know, overextending your shoulder, you know, or rolling your shoulder over, and it's moving your bow hand to that side. So coaches are great. You know, matter of fact, I'm actually about to start doing clinics for folks just because I did so many things wrong in my life, and now that I've fixed all of them, I'm a pretty good coach because I've been there, done that. You know I've had just about every single problem that somebody could have, and I fixed it not to the point of perfection, but pretty daggum close through different methods like this. However, coaches are great, but you can also teach yourself extremely well just by, you know, knowing the basics, you know, good posture, holding your shoulders back, you know, keep your elbow up, you know, do little things like, you know, if somebody was running at me and I wanted to drop my weight and, you know, stop them, you know, what would my skeletal structure look like with me trying to get that bow arm out in front of me to stop somebody running at me? A lot of stuff like that you can teach yourself, because if you just tell yourself you want it to be natural, because when it comes down to it and the adrenaline's pumping, your fine motor skills are going to be one of the first things that go out the window, and your body's going to want to revert back to those natural postures. So if you know, if a coach tells you, hey, put your shoulder in this certain position, yes, the basics are good. However, everybody's built a little bit different. So when you can learn what's the most natural way that you can push the bow the strongest, you know, and it's not major differences. I'm not saying, hey, you know, one guy is going to be able to roll his shoulder over and like that's how you should shoot. I'm not saying that. I'm saying what you hear from me or other coaches or, you know, on YouTube, all of it's really good starting points, but you have to get on something like a blind bail to really learn specifically what that feels like that they're talking about, and if there's any minor nuances of change, you know, that your body is just made a little bit different, and so that's how you want to do it. For instance, my dad puts his chin on his shoulder when he shoots, and I can't do that. You know, length of my facial structure, you know, bone structure, all that stuff, no matter how much I posture over and push out, I can't do it without taking my, you know, bow shoulder out of place. So everybody's a little bit different, and that's what this allows you to do. And when you step back and get the feedback on it, you can go, okay, my release feels really good, but I'm going that way, so I must be doing something wrong, you know, with my bow arm, must be dropping my bow arm, so maybe you're not pushing through the shot. You can get a lot of feedback through it, so that's my point. So I highly encourage you, get you a Reinhardt 18-in-1, a Morel high roller, just a little block, something that you can take with you. You know, just this week we were traveling and we were in a hotel, and Sierra was just, her hair was practically on fire because I put the thing on top of the, you know, the little mini fridge and started shooting it. So you can't keep everybody happy, but you know, you got to squeeze it in where you can. Take it traveling with you. Do it every single day, because like I said, anybody that you look at that's good at anything, they do it every single day. It can't be a weekend warrior thing. Just 2 or 3 shots, you know, just keep yourself, you know, freshened up on it. I personally probably shoot this thing over 100 times a day. But I'm just, you know, a little specific like that. Oakley, what are you doing? You want to say hey to everybody? Come here. Come here. I know they hear you down here. Oh, this is my big baby. This is my bird dog. All right, say bye. But anyways, that's the basics of blind bailing. It is what it sounds like. You just get in front of the target and close your eyes, and you know, that way you can really feel the way that all your muscles are working. However, you can go 1,000 miles in the wrong direction, so you don't want to blind bail and build muscle memory for doing the incorrect form. So encourage you to step back, you know, 10 yards and get a little bit of feedback, aim at an arrow hole, see if you go right, see if you go left, you know, up, down, you know, kind of see what you're doing. and that way, if you don't have a coach standing right there watching you, you can kind of, you know, get some feedback for yourself. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your buddies, and I'll see you guys next time.